Hey, what's up everyone, it's the Finger Skateboarder. Now in today's video, besides the normal finger skateboarding session that I usually post to you guys to enjoy for a little while, I wanted to kind of do a fun, different style, change of pace kind of video and kind of just give out like a how to start fingerboarding kind of video a little bit, or at least a segment of it in the year 2025 going to 2026, and also my history with it as well, and just kind of also go through all that fun stuff as well as some contest updates as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. So basically the hobby of finger skateboarding, whatever you want to call it, really kind of started off when I was a kid. So I'm in my late 30s now, and it kind of really started off like pretty much in the late 90s, like 1997, 98 is when all the original kind of like official tech deck stuff kind of came out into like Target and all those stores and online, that kind of thing, but really mostly Target back then. And back then, like every single major professional skateboard company had, like a bunch of pro models, like tech decks out, like, and the whole idea, at least to my knowledge, the whole, wooden board wasn't really a thing yet. It was very much just a hobby for kids like myself back then to really kind of experiment with and have fun with when we weren't actually skateboarding, just for fun overall. And that's kind of what I did. So I started off finger skateboarding, although back then, at least in my community of friends that we did it on, we did it like, again, we did it when we weren't skateboarding for real outside. And essentially we called it tech decking back then, because back then there wasn't really, to my knowledge, any kind of like wooden fingerboard or finger skateboard being made at all. Like there wasn't any pro models being made as far as like what these would be as far as these ones right now. So there was, like, these didn't exist yet of like actual wood boards. Like we didn't make our own. And back then it was like, $5-10 for like a one piece, like an actual pro model. And again, all the big companies like, Baker and Birdhouse, like they all had those models out like a lot. It was a really big thing, a big fun kind of fad back then, and then kind of just fell off, and after kind of like the X Games, and kind of fell off a little bit too. So that's when I started doing it. And again, I always did it as a method of just kind of like just having fun, as having a hobby when I wasn't skateboarding outside, just to kind of like enjoy it, still like messing around. And they had like all the parks, like the little fingerboard skate parks that were built, and those were really cool too as well. So that's kind of the history of, like, a very, very brief history as well. Now, if you're looking to start doing finger skateboarding in this year, 2025, going into 2026 now, there's a lot of different methods of ways of doing it, and it's luckily it's one of the, in my opinion, one of the easiest, cheapest barriers of entry, as you would call it, where it's like the starting point to it is very, very cheap overall. So, for example, when I was first starting to do it about, again, like a month and a half ago, I literally just went on Amazon, because that's really the easiest place to find everything nowadays. I went to Amazon, and I got to begin with, like the Nigel Houston, this guy. So it was the Nigel Houston, the Barracs, not the Barracs, the Nigel Houston, like, which you've seen in other videos as well, but his little handrail and stairs and kind of setup as well. That's what I was using for a few weeks, until I decided if I was going to get serious about it more or not, and just take it a little bit more than just a hobby. And so when you're just starting out with finger skateboarding overall, this kind of board is all you really need. It's just, it's plastic all the way through, so it's a plastic deck. The grip tape itself is, again, plastic, and mine looks a little bit weird because I actually got cut from the grip tape from which is sandpaper, from using it so much and playing with it every single day for a couple hours. So all the little stains are actually my blood, actually. So hopefully you don't get queasy from seeing that, but because, again, I was using every day for these videos, and these boards are actually a lot more solid than they used to be, because back in the day these boards they would break easily. The wheels, which, again, this is all plastic for these versions, so the trucks are plastic, the bearings and the wheels are all plastic, everything's plastic about it. They still work, but they're a lot lighter than the wooden versions. So these guys right here, which are the Pro model, the Tech Deck Pro model versions, they're a lot different. So these ones, again, which is pretty much everything you can buy from Walmart, Target, Amazon overall, they're a lot cheaper, obviously, but they're all plastic. This is all sandpaper, and it works for starting out. So if you're looking to just, again, if you're looking to get into it as far as like just like an entry level kind of thing, to see if you even enjoy it or not, as like whether it's just to fidget with it, or just film some fun stuff with your friends and just mess around with it. These are perfect for that. The skate parks that you can get on Amazon the same way. They're all plastic. There's some much better ones nowadays than there used to be, but these are the perfect barrier, the perfect gateway of entry into finger skateboarding in this year of 2025, because of how cheap it all is for the most part. And again, these are much lighter than the Pro model versions are, like, for sure. So if you're looking to just learn how to just do basic things, not do anything crazy with it, that's the good thing about these guys. Again, they're very, very cheap to get. Now, for me myself, I got this guy as my first Tech Deck Pro board about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and this thing it's about probably, in my opinion, about 2 to 3 times heavier because it's actually wood now, so it's got 5 plies of pieces of wood. I can't focus there, but so it's a lot more solid of a board. The graphics are about the same for how they kind of scratch off, which is kind of a bummer, but they're solid for what they are. The trucks are actually metal on there. The wheels and the bearings are actually really, really good. And my favorite thing about this board's type, the Pro type, actually, is the fact that the grip tape is actually, I thought it was rubber at first. I didn't actually look it up when I started using it, so it's my bad for when I said it was rubber in the first video from a few weeks ago. But this is actually foam. I didn't know it was foam, but it's actually a foam type of grip tape, and it works super, super well. So why I like it that way is because when you start to get more, how do I put it, when you start to get more loose from like warming up, so to speak, and to do when you're doing finger skateboarding, the foam will actually kind of like condense more to your fingers. And what that means for me, at least in my experience with it, is the fact that it'll actually stick more than the sandpaper does, than these like entry level versions are, and it won't hurt as much in a way. Because again, when I was using these for like an hour to a day, my fingers, I ended up getting cut on my finger, and it like actually bled a little bit, as you can see on the grip tape right here, and it just hurt for a while and it stayed that way. So in my opinion, the pro of these pro boards is that it's foam, so it does not hurt ever at all. It's a lot more grippier without being sandpaperish of a feeling, and it's just a lot better overall. So that's kind of my, month, 6 week review between these two. Now, again, if you're looking to just test everything out as a brand new beginner of, finger skateboarding, you don't need to go through all this stuff of getting all these pro things that you can do through there's a lot of like Instagram companies where they make these boxes and setups, and when they're really, really right, I love them. I mean, it makes the finger skateboarding experience a lot more fun to do. But if you're looking to just start off and just see how you enjoy things, like for my kids, for example, like my kids love these plastic ones. They're not as good of quality, obviously, it's all plastic, but just to mess around with and fidget with, these are just fine. They're not bad at all. They last, and they don't break at all as long as you take care of them, all that kind of stuff. That's all you really need to. Otherwise, even for me when I was a kid, when I first started doing finger skateboarding as a kid, I would even use a lot of just like areas of my house and like things like plates and just books and encyclopedias and all that to build my own parks. You didn't have to even buy anything besides just the actual board itself from Target, and then you'd be good for to build up your tricks and that kind of thing. So again, that's kind of so if you're beginning, I would definitely recommend just doing these guys, the plastic version from Target or Amazon or Walmart. These are just fine for you. And then if you decide if you're still enjoying doing it and you're getting more out of it, and you want to start getting a little bit more technical and learning more tricks and being a little bit more serious about it, that's when I'd recommend getting into more of these pro series. Now, I will say this much, like even for myself, so like even for these guys, these are not cheap overall for what they are. Like this one was $50 for me, and it was made again. It's made by Tech Deck, so it's not a cheap thing. But one thing a lot of fingerboarders do, that including myself, is that like all of us are doing like our own pro shops or our own websites, and that's including me too. So I'll make another video for that part down in a few days here. But I am actually starting my own professional fingerboards skate shop on my website, where I'm going to be actually hand painting my own designs of decks only and putting those up. And I'm actually sourcing my own, not creating, but I'm sourcing my own finger skateboards of like maple wood, like 5-ply wood, and I'm going to be hand painting them and selling them as limited edition stuff. And I'll have a whole other video for that in a few days here once I get it going. But it's just something I want to do, that where I don't want to like spend like $50 on just this and have it be that kind of process. So again, that's when you take it a little bit more seriously as a finger skateboarder. It's more fun to do that. And then again, you can always get into like this version of like LC boards. There's the Black River Park, which I'm going to be getting a few things from soon, where again they can get pricey, but they're made out of real wood, and that's the other difference you're going to be getting from going from having this kind of style of official Tech Deck parks of just like all plastic compared to the all wood experience. Again, you don't have to start with this at all, but if you are trying to get a little bit more serious about doing it and having fun with it, then that's where the quality of using these guys, that park style, comes into play as well. So that's kind of my advice, if you want to call it that, on how to go from just starting off from finger skateboarding to taking it a little bit more seriously, just enjoying it a little bit more. And there's a whole world out there of people who are way more technical than even I am, as far as like, getting into like all the millimeter styles and styles of decks and how many flies are good and what style of wood you should be using for veneer and all. I'm not going to go into all of that in this video, but just as a welcome thing of how to start off with finger skateboarding if you're looking to do it nowadays as well. And again, in future news, again, I'm going to be opening up my own pro finger skateboarding shop of just decks, of wood decks. I'm going to be, again, painting myself. That'll be a limited edition, and look out for that video in a few days here as well. Now, there was a contest I announced about a little over 2 weeks ago to give away the tech deck, the Barracs park that I bought on Amazon, and I didn't really use it. It was just too small for me for what I wanted, for how I finger skateboard. So that one, it was supposed to end a few days ago, but with the weekend I decided to give it more time. So this is the last video. This is the last like kind of advisement that if you want to enter to win the Barracs Tech Deck Skatepark, which includes an unused finger skateboard, all the parts with it. I barely used it for more than 10 minutes myself. I made one video with it, and that was it. It just isn't my style. But if you want a chance to win that, again, you must live in the U.S. You have to be over 18 to enter it as well. And if you are under 18, you have to have parental approval and consent from your parents to give me your shipping address if I choose you for the winner for that part. It is a free giveaway. I will ship it for free to you in the U.S. only as well. And again, so today will be the last day. This video is the last video to go with it. So I'll be choosing a winner this week for that contest, for the Barracs Skatepark contest. And once that contest is over, I'm going to give it a few days, and I'm actually going to be giving away some more stuff that I bought as well. That because I've kind of have honestly, how do you put it? I've kind of honestly have like eased myself out of these boards, and I bought like a ton of them. I spent like 30-40 bucks on just a collection of these of different styles. So I'm going to be giving away those individually in the next future videos as well. So there will be, again, some more giveaways, again, coming down in the future. But again, you have to subscribe to the channel, to this YouTube channel. You need to comment and like on that video, the Barracs video, and I'll put that video in the description for this one as well. So you have to subscribe to this channel, you have to like that video, and then you also need to comment on that video what your favorite skateboard trick is, or what your favorite skateboarder is in real life. And the reason why that is, again, is because I need to make sure you're not a fake account, a fake bot, because there's been a ton of accounts that have subscribed to my channel, which I'm thankful for that part, but then they won't comment, or they won't like the video, whatever it might be for that video, and I can't use that for anything. I have to be able to contact you, so by not commenting, I don't have a way of verifying for real or not. So those are the requirements. Get over 18 in the U.S. only. Again, if you're under 18, you have to have parental approval and consent to give me your shipping address. You cannot be a PO box, all that fun stuff. Now, with all that out of the way, thanks for watching for the kind of how to get started with finger skateboarding part, the contest updates. And again, I'll be making another video in a few days here about my own professional finger skateboard shop business. I'll be opening up in a few days here once I get things going, and kind of just to announce it and show you guys what I'm making. With all that out of the way, and then again, if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for it in general. But with all that out of the way, let's get into today's finger skateboarding session. Thanks for watching.